Reporting for duty, sir.
The man himself. Splendid. Do accept my apologies about the situation topside?
A refreshing change from the academy, sir.
Don't despise training, my boy. Even you would be worthless without the shaping touch of drills and studies.
So the NSF took a shipment of the ambrosia vaccine? Give me a chopper and a pilot and I'll handle it.
I'm sure you could. Yes, indeed. But we're having your brother head up the recovery team. You'll work with Agent Ana Navarra. Why don't we meet when you've seen Jaime for a medical checkup and received your equipment from Sam Carter? You'll be briefed at that time.
Yes, sir.
That will be JC's job.
What's that? Power station. The NSF have ambrosia in a warehouse protected by cameras and booby traps. We want to power down the whole system.
We're taking one illicit generating plant, protected by weak groups of NSF. Knock out that plant, and Paul's team can walk right into the warehouse.
Just tell me where it is. The NSF are openly resisting our deployed forces, gradually falling back. You have to deal with them first.
And you be ready, Paul. When the power drops, go in and go in hard.
I'll use my discretion.
Go in like the U.S. Marshals. We lose the vaccine, I'm sending your butt to the mayor to explain why he and his 3 daughters won't get their pills this month.
Yes, sir. Let's not waste any time, JC. Get down to the dock. A boat is waiting to take you and your partner, Ana Navarra, to shore.
Yes, get moving. Here's your op bonus for the great job you did in the statue, plus 250 for rescuing Agent Herman. That's 1,250. We take care of our people around here.
Joseph Manderley is the director of Task Force 29 in 2029, and then the director of UNATCO in 2052. He's a major character in the Deus Ex universe and also appears in the game Deus Ex Mankind Divided as well. In 2027, Joseph Manderley works for FEMA, bearing the title of Advisor to the Deputy Administrator, National Preparedness. This unwieldy title disguises his true role as an executive officer for the black operations undertaken by the government of the United States, including administrating clandestine internment camps for American dissidents. Manderley plays an important role as the enforcer of the provisions of the revised Homeland Security Act of 2012. He also worked for Interpol, so in 2028, Manderley is appointed by the UN as director of the newly formed Task Force 29, an anti-terrorist intelligence and response team overseen by Interpol. In this role, he is the second highest person at Interpol after the Secretary General. Branch directors, including Jim Miller and Christian Jarreau, report directly to Manderley. In 2029, he transfers Adam Jensen from TF-29's North American division to its Central European division based in Prague. 6 months later, he assigns Lara Ozen as a psychiatrist there as well, with the intent of keeping tabs on Jensen. After the bombing of the Ruzicka station, Manderley orders Miller to identify the Augmented Rights Coalition as the instigator of this and other events that have little or nothing to do with art. It is revealed that his actions are controlled by Bob Page, who wishes to completely undermine the cause of the Augmented. Manderley's actions, carried out on the behest of Page, are but one piece of a campaign to institute the Human Restoration Act, an act which would enforce an apartheid upon augmented people globally. By 2052, he's the chief administrator of UNATCO, assigned that position by Majestic 12 after assisting Interpol in shutting down the Knights Templar and securing the conspirators' hold on Europe. Despite the recognition afforded to him by this accomplishment, Manderley is a minor bureaucrat who is in Walton Simon's pocket, a mere proxy installed by Majestic 12 to help place an urbane face on UNATCO's public relations and media management. When JC Denton initially arrives at UNATCO headquarters on Liberty Island, Manderley is already under considerable pressure, primarily from Simons, due to the disappointing performance of JC's brother, Paul Denton, as a UNATCO operative. As Paul's commanding officer, Manderley had been charged with the task of assuring the success of the primary unit, Paul Denton, as the unwitting tool of Bob Page and Majestic 12 by having Paul complete UNATCO anti-terrorism operations. As Paul had become aware of this fact through those he had been sent to eliminate, he continually returned from his missions, having failed to complete his assigned task. Given one final opportunity to prove his worth by the increasingly agitated Page, Manderley naturally spent most of his time with JC, reminding him to always follow procedure, never question standing orders, and to obey the commands of superior officers. Manderley also placed JC under the command of a trusted operative, Agent Ana Navarra. When JC, following the advice of his brother, defected to the NSF, Manderley was held solely responsible for the loss of both units. After Manderley's failure, Page and Simons pretend to consider posting him to the Library of Congress. Manderley tries to object, saying that he can't control a man's mind. After JC's escape from the UNATCO headquarters, public news bulletins report that Manderley was murdered by JC Denton. Some of the interactions that you have: so in Deus Ex, Manderley serves as JC's commanding officer and will react to the actions taken by JC during his assignments. During JC's escape from the UNATCO headquarters, JC may confront Manderley, who is having a demotion conference with Simons over Holocom. Manderley will appear friendly, but will attack as soon as JC is about to leave the office. Here, Manderley can be killed, knocked unconscious, or ignored. Whether or not Manderley is killed, an email from Sam Carter reveals that Manderley has disappeared, rumored to have been reassigned while Simons has taken his place. Subsequent public news bulletins will report that Manderley was murdered by JC Denton, regardless of whether or not he was actually killed by JC. If JC did not kill Manderley, it is possible that Manderley was executed by Majestic 12 to frame JC for his murder. I'll do a few notes to finish off. So in Deus Ex, Manderley's login is jmanderley and his password is knight_killer. This is a reference to the involvement in the attack on the Knights Templar. In the same game, soldiers in Brooklyn mention him even though he is already dead by that time. So that's pretty much everything that we have on Joseph Manderley. Definitely another interesting character. Now, if you have anything to add, I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments, and until next time, see you in the next video.
Jensen, thank God. I was starting to get worried.
That I wouldn't make it in here, or that I actually would?
What? I've been on the phone for the last half hour, trying to guarantee your safe passage through this city. Whatever you stumbled into at Garm is big.
I know. I've been trying to find out how big for a long time. They knew I was coming. Marchenko and the gold mask from Dubai. Somebody tipped them off.
Are you accusing me?
When I left here, you, me, and Chicane were the only ones who knew what I'd discovered. Solid proof that someone other than Ark was involved in this. But you and your bosses have been trying to pin everything on them right from the start.
You're out of line, Jensen. I sent you after Ark because there were viable suspects in the train station attack.
And because Manderley ordered you to do it.
Yes, he ordered me to do it, but unlike him, I will not ignore evidence to close a case. You've been nothing but an insubordinate cock-up since Manderley put you into this unit.
Manderley?
It was his signature on the transfer papers. I checked.